Welcome everyone. This is Political Profile on YouTube with me, Kwekuba. Today we are talking politics. The Ghanaian politics and the future. I know at this critical moment, most people are talking about how the 2024 elections should go. And today we are talking to a very special man because he's an environmentalist. And one of the key issues in Ghana is about our environment and how people are taking care of it or not taking very good care of it. So I'm sure this conversation will give you a huge insight to what this man I'm talking about is going to bring on board, being an environmentalist, trying to be the leader of Ghana. He's an independent candidate. Today we are talking to Mr. R.O. Frimpong. Mr. Frimpong, welcome to Political Profile.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you for having me this morning.
Right. So just recently, you launched your campaign and introduced yourself to the whole nation to run as an independent candidate.
Yes.
Mr. Richmond Owusu Frimpong is your full name. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we delve into the full conversation.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity. R.O. Frimpong or Richmond Owusu Frimpong is just an ordinary Ghanaian. I was born in Achim Kotokum in the eastern region, and I schooled there for some time and moved to the western region where I had my primary and my secondary and the senior high school education over there. But just as I always say, that after discovering that the Ghanaian school system doesn't give you the insight, the enlightenment that one needs as a human being on earth, I had to take matters in my own hands and learn and discover and research on my own about the reason for coming here on earth. So though we would not boast of any certificates from Massachusetts and from Cambridge and from whatever universities that these guys are coming from, we have learned quite a lot of things in pursuit of humanity. What are we here for? So R.O. Frimpong has learned psychology, psychotherapy, entrepreneurship and family business. I decided to get all these insights, not for the certificates. No, I'm not interested in those ones, but we need to get the insight as to how can you solve the problems of life. With what knowledge, with what technical wisdom do you need to be able to assist humanity? So aside from being a minister of the gospel, I've been a minister since 1999, some 23 years in ministry. I'm also an entrepreneur, but I love sharing my skills. I love giving what is in me to other people. So instead of the selfishness that we see, R.O. Frimpong is always out there teaching people. That's what I love to do.
Right. So you've mentioned about teaching people and what you love to do.
Yeah.
At what point, you're a minister, at what point did you decide that, okay, apart from serving or doing the work of God, I should extend my tentacles to the rest of Ghana?
Yes. Usually when you are called as a minister of the gospel, you have no limits. You should be able to go anywhere. And so I have even gone to Asia, gone to some African countries to spread the gospel. So in Ghana, there was no limit for me as to where to do the ministry. But you will not see R.O. Frimpong typically going to say that Jesus is coming, let us repent. And you will not see me doing that, but I would give the people the physical support that they need. Then they will love to hear more about God. So I do go to share the skills, and then I give them the word of God as well. So In Ghana here, there's no limit. I have been to most places just to help and assist in any way that I can.
So would go to politics. I mean, definitely that's the main reason why we're here. But let's have a little insight in your personal life and growing up. How would you describe growing up for you?
Wow, it's been very tough, and I was always asking the questions, why is this happening? But one of the answers that I got that got me settled, and I'm ready for anything that happens to me, is that you can never ever skip the guidance of nature if you were meant to be used for the benefit of a lot of people, because you will not get the discipline that nature gives you in school. So nature will only give you the practicals that you need to be able to assist the rest of the world. So it's been very tough, losing my parents, not having anybody to support you. It's been very tough, having to fend for yourself, having to do everything practically for yourself. It's been very tough for me as an individual. But when I understood that this is the only way that I could be trained, I could be equipped, I accepted the challenge. Because you will have to read about David. He has to be on the wilderness, kill some animals before he gets prepared to go and face Goliath. You have to read about Joseph. He has to go through all the mess before he gets to Potiphar's house, goes to prison and all that before he gets to deal with the real challenge that is ahead of him. So it's been tough. And I was born one, and my parents all died at the age of 22. Those that I loved, all of them, I lost them. Recently I lost the last one, and that hurt. And so you can imagine, you need to be tried and tested like gold. You have to go through fire to be refined for the task ahead. For you to be glorified, you cannot skip the fire. And so it's been one hellish experience for me, but I understood that you need to go through this channel to be prepared to save Ghanaians. And so I haven't gotten it easy at all.
So let's talk about your profession, being an environmentalist and psychotherapist.
Yes.
How does these two fields, how do you tend to relate it to being a president? When you become a president, how do you think that you being a psychotherapist and an environmentalist, how would you fuse it in governing the nation?
When I got to Germany, I thought, when I saw the environment in Germany, I thought that angels were living in Germany. You will not see one single drop of paper. All the people that were in Germany with me, they saw it. One single drop of paper on the street. I'm talking about the street. And the gutters, even the streams, not one single drop of paper was flying. And I said, is it angels that are living in Germany? But way back home, we have lost control of the environment. This is because we lost control over people's minds. You cannot work on the environment without working on people's mindset. When you place the dustbin and somebody does not drop the garbage in the dustbin, you know that there's a problem with that person's thinking. So it is time that we merge the responsibility to take care of the environment with developing our people. So being an environmentalist, I went deep down to search for pragmatic solutions. Not just we are going to make Accra we are going to make Ghana or Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Not just those jargons that the president came and he was talking about. I am the only person in this country, 30.8 million. I challenge anybody. I'm the only person that has used plastic bottles to make beautiful flowers. You can check it on my website. The only person in Ghana, 30.8 million, who has made pillows with the sachet rubbers on the street. The only person. I challenge anybody who has done it. So I saw that plastic pollution is one of the biggest challenge. But you know, plastic is a treasure. I can make billions of Ghana cedis from plastic waste alone. Billions of money from plastic waste alone. This is not abstract. I have all the things. The examples is what I've given you. And we can, if I'm the president now, we can, wherever you find yourself, you see dustbins on the street made from the same plastic, the sachet rubbers and the plastic bottles. It's just that these people don't have the technical idea to solve the problem of pollution. And so waste is getting into the sea, and every now and then when it rains, the gutters are choked. I got into so much into the environmental issues when the June 3rd disaster happened, because I was there when they were packing the human bodies into the truck. I was there and I saw everything. I said, why? What happened? What can we do to stop this? And you see, they have been paying lip service. Every year this is happening, but the solution is there. I can stop the flooding. I won't tell them. I won't give them the idea. But one person, Frimpong, can stop the flooding. In 2 years, I can stop the flooding in this country. And so, when you set aside the plastic pollution, we also need to beautify our environment. We need to grow trees. You know, you need trees to breathe. The oxygen that you are breathing is coming from the trees. But people are not aware of all these things. We don't teach our children tree planting and all. But thanks to the initiatives now, they are now planting trees, which I commend them. It's a good initiative. And so the environment goes hand in hand with your mind. When I go to the village, I go to the wood. That is the only place that you can have serenity. You get me? So if you want to refresh yourself, go to the bush. Anytime you see natural stuff, the greens around you, the mind calms down. So being a psychotherapist, I need to get green environment around me, and then I can relax. I can open my mind for clairvoyance, for ideas from the universe. Nature itself will teach you so many stuff when the environment is green. But we don't know this I didn't learn this in the classroom. You get me? So we are all responsible.
Let's talk about how our environment is affecting climate change. I mean, from the West to we as Africans, and how it is affecting climate change now.
You see, the more we burn plastics, the more we deplete the ozone layer. The more we burn our refuse, the more we are causing harm. You know, the heat wave in Europe is caused by, when we told them, they thought that it's a joke. Climate change is happening right now, and it's devastating. It's going to be devastating in the years to come. So we should all be apprehended and take action to stop climate change. We should reduce the carbon footprint to ensure that we don't leave a messy environment for the next generation. You see, it is raining abnormally, and when it's drought time, the dryness is too much. This is all because we didn't live our lives concerned about the environment. But I want viewers to understand that we are all responsible, and climate change is happening. So all of us must take action to stop it. We should stop burning refuse. We should stop the indiscriminate cutting of trees and logging and all that, because it will affect us, and it will affect the next generation which is born. Those that are born, that are crawling and walking, the 1 year old, they are the next generation, and it will also affect the unborn generation. So we should be a little bit responsible now, so that our forefathers didn't live at this mess. So I don't know why this selfishness that everybody wants to have everything for themselves and nobody cares about who is coming after them. This is so disastrous. So let's understand, climate change is happening, and every one of us is at risk. talk about the pollution in the ocean. Very soon we will have more plastics in the sea than fishes. The research has been done by, I think, Ellen MacArthur did that research. So we should be very much concerned about this.
Let's leave your comforts, the environment and all other things, and talk about numbers. Ghana's debt stock, inflation rising, the economic crisis, so many governments blaming it on so many other factors instead of admitting that yes, we have done a bad job in managing the economy. What's your take on the current situation in Ghana when it comes to the high rise inflation and then the national debt?
All right, thank you. You see, one of the things that personally I hate is blame game. Everything that has happened to me, I admit it, it's my fault. Whatever happened, it's my fault. Because if you were vigilant enough, you would stop certain things. Over the years, they have been stealing our money. And we told them, this that you keep stealing, this will be the outcome. But they don't care, because they have seen an avenue for self-aggrandizement. So government in, government out, they kept stealing, unbridled stealing. Everybody wants to eat the fat out of everything, and that is why we are here. So I was expecting that somebody would be sensible enough to own up that no, we were wrong. We were wrong. We were woefully wrong. So we want to change our attitude. When you are giving tax exemptions on the silver platter, what do you expect? Up till now, we have not been able to remove ghost names from our payroll, and it has been two governments, the NDC and the NPP government, two of them in the Fourth Republic, 32 years. We are still fighting ghost names on our payroll. Who put them there? How come we cannot fish these people out? When you tell them that give meaning to decentralization, they haven't heard it. Why would you let decentralization sit in the constitution and then central government is doing everything? Are you trying to tell me that the district assembly doesn't know the people that work in the district, and so we still have ghost names up till now? You get me? They just don't listen, and they took us for granted. They thought that all of us are clueless, so they want to do what they can do. But going forward, I want us to get these people off our necks. As long as NDC and NPP keeps on sitting in government, Ghana goes nowhere. Why? Because they come to serve their political parties. They don't come to develop Ghana. Anybody that comes and wants to develop this country must first of all be selfless. We need selfless leadership in this country. Somebody must say that it is nonsensical to give the Cocoa Board CEO close to 1 billion. Very nonsensical. To pay one person close to 100,000 Ghana cedis with all the freebies. Very nonsensical. Meanwhile, that institution that the person is occupying is in debt. You get me? So, until these people know that, okay, politics is not an avenue for stealing and for self-gratification, you don't go taking salaries every 4 years. Taking ex gratia every 4 years. Because ex gratia is not compulsory. It is something that I am giving to you as a gift. You served me and I want to see you out because you are not coming back. But before we pay the ex gratia, we know the next parliamentarian. And that same person will go and take the money and sit there and wait for another 4 years to take the money. And some of these guys have been there since 1992. Bagbain has been there since 1992. And he's taking money as the Speaker of Parliament. He has been there. So until these people say that we want to build our, you see, the minimum wage in America is $20 per hour. Per hour. Your minimum wage is 14.5 Ghana cedis, 14 cedis, 50 pesos per day. You get me? Who built that system in America? It is the forefathers. Those selfless individuals who thought that we must build a nation, a prosperous nation, the American dream for our kids. And they did it. And so America has done democracy for over 250 years. Your 32-year-old democracy is an abysmal performance because these people are just sitting there to feed themselves. You get me? Why wouldn't we have high inflation? Why wouldn't we have a food crisis? Because they love slogans. When you ask them, they say we are doing PFJ, planting for food and jobs. Where are the jobs? Where is the food? We are going to
quickly, sorry for cutting you, but let me just chip in before you finish that statement. People want to know what differently will you do? Because these governments, they've been blaming each other. This one talks about all these things. What different do you want to bring when you are elected into governance?
You see, we, like I keep saying, we need selfless people in government. And Frimpong and the team, we are the first in the Fourth Republic to run a voluntary government. You see, there are so many things that are legal, but the fact that something is legal doesn't mean that it is conducive for all of us. We are going to run a government, a voluntary government, where appointees says that we are not going to take the money that the Constitution prescribes. You get me? We are not going to pay those monies. So we are bringing in a voluntary government where all appointees says, okay, we are receiving 200,000 cedis, and so we are not going to take that money. Maybe we divide it into 3, and we take 1, we give 2 to the nation. That is the way to go. And as president, I said this in Germany, and I keep saying it. I don't need the 480 million or the 48,000 Ghana cedis that the president is taking, because as president, Ghana feeds you, Ghana takes care of you, Ghana gives you everything. So why do you still need 480 million, 48,000 cedis at the end of every 24 days or so? This is clearly for people who are not ready to sacrifice. So we are going to sacrifice for the nation. So sacrificial service for the nation. It's a problem that we are going to fix. And this is just 4 years. Can't I dedicate my life just 4 years to serve my country at this age? If I can't do it now, when can I do it? Can't I say I won't take salary so that we can fix the broken system of my country? If I can't do it now at a young age, then I can't do it ever.
So because of time, I'll be pushing some questions to there's been 2 industries that people think that if the government wants to touch it properly, it will also help change, bring jobs in Ghana. Those 2 industries are as the sports industry and the creative arts industry.
Okay.
Governments have come and they've exited. They haven't treated it like an industry that can make money. So what plans do you have for the sports industry and the creative arts industry?
Very well. Going forward, I think we need to encourage individuals to bring their talents out. I'm an actor myself, and you would clearly know and understand that talent pays. I could mention Lil Wayne. What university certificate does he hold? Acrobato and all of them. We know them. So we should let people understand that. Parents, you understand that it is not going through the classroom setting that makes you money or that makes you rich. We have told a lie to so many people. Either to when your kids are acting, you even chase them and do something nasty to them. Let's tell the people, my child is able to use his foot on the football field. What do? I need to develop that child. And then going forward, government should also dedicate some sort of funds that goes into the training of these athletes and the creative arts industry, because creativity is what rules the world. It is when people start using their minds, that is when society start benefiting. You get me? So for me, my government or our government will ensure that we bring out what is in the individual, because everybody has a way of communicating to the universe, and so you will be able to get enough ideas and enough benefit by allowing people to do what is in them, rather than stereotyping the people, getting them to sit in a classroom setting and one size fits all, one teacher feeds everybody with some sort of knowledge. So these two areas are areas that I'm going to take particular attention to ensure that we develop human beings. That is why PDV is about human development, people's development volunteers. We need to lay hands on the mindset of people and bring out the best in them. So creativity, we are going to ensure that we strengthen that sector to make sure that we rake in revenue from there.
Before we draw curtains on our conversation, I'd like to ask some of the things that hasn't really worked with for independent candidates are them not declaring their team before elections. They just say, "Oh, vote for me. When I win, I can put people together." Are you going to do something different? Are you going to let people know that, okay, these are the men when I'm in power I would work with, or you are just going to wait like other independent candidates?
Fantastic question. We have already done that. Frimpong is not running alone. I have given our ministerial list 14 ministers as opposed to 125 ministers that Akufo-Addo has used to deplete all our resources. Frimpong is running with 14 ministers, and we are going to very soon outdoor our running mate. I'm going to show my running mate to all Ghanaians far away before elections is done, and the team will be known as we move across the length and breadth of this country. Ghanaians will know the team that is going to run the country. And let me chip this in. Most people are asking, when you get the node, you are going to run with the same people, and that you need majority in parliament. That it's not true. It's never true that the president needs majority in parliament, but because of the stealing spree that they want to get themselves involved, that is why they ask you to vote for the presidential candidate and vote for the parliamentary candidate. It's not true. Parliament is autonomous. The legislature and the judiciary are all autonomous, and the executive is autonomous. Nobody decides for the other. So Frimpong will govern with sensible bills that gets into the parliament of NDC and NPP, and we'll be able to fix things in this country. So my team, in due course, my team will be known, even up to those people who have voluntarily said that we can run certain institutions voluntarily without taking salaries. We have the names there. They are ready to run certain institutions without taking money, as opposed to these people creating jobs for their party members. I have individual Ghanaians that are ready to say that when we get the power, we are going to run the country without taking salaries. In due course, I'll bring the names.
So finally, message to viewers of political profile. What extra thing you'd add so that people are convinced that Frimpong and the team are ready to govern Ghana?
Thank you very much. My brothers and sisters, there comes a time where you have to understand that doing the same thing and expecting different results doesn't work, and that you don't make the same mistakes that has caused the problems you have over and over again. NDC and NPP are our woes. These two parties are the woes of this country. All that I'm asking for is that let's come together as one. Let's become one people this time around and choose Frimpong come 2024. Just for 4 years, We are not asking to be in government forever like they are asking. If you give them 4 years, they want 4 more. If you give them 4 more, they want to break the 8. But breaking the 8 is a figment in their own imagination. That one is a slogan. It's their party talk. It's for those that are stealing Ghana's money, that is committed to breaking the 8. So Ghanaians, this is the right time for us to try something new. And our Frimpong has been divinely sent to help and assist Ghanaians get out of the woods at this material moment. And so join the team, join the campaign. Try as much as possible to look for People's Development Volunteers Movement on Facebook. You can also get in touch with us on 0547 587 300 0547 587 300. We need 34,000 organizers across the country. 34,000 organizers, 34,000 polling station volunteers. Please join the campaign. Let us rescue this country so that we will leave a legacy for the unborn generation. If we fail to do this, we will go down in history as the most useless generation in the history of the Republic of Ghana, because we saw all the mess of the old people bathing in private jets and we didn't do anything. So I call on all of us to take responsibility. Let's take matters in our own hands. No insult, no unnecessary demonstrations. We are rescuing this nation at all costs. Thank you very much, and I hope to get your message on the number that I provided. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so I'm sure it was a very insightful conversation with Mr. Richmond Owusu Frimpong, who is vying for the presidency come 2024 as an independent candidate. I'm sure you listened to him and heard lots that he had to say and the ideas that he's hoping to bring on board. My name is Kwekuba, and this has been a conversation on Political Profile. Thank you for joining us.